Last video we taught a pile of documents to search by meaning. We asked an 88-page regulation, how long do I have to report a data breach? And it found the exact passage, even though we never typed the words the document itself used. But look at what I actually left you with. It found the answer. It didn't give you the answer. You still had to read the passage yourself and work it out. That's the gap between a search engine and an assistant. Today we close it with only 3 nodes. Put a second AI on top that reads the passage for you, answers your question in one plain sentence, and tells you exactly where it got it from. This is where it actually feels like you're starting to chat with your documents. So today's puzzle: how do I get an answer I can actually trust? Not a wall of text I need to wade through, one sentence. And a sentence that shows its source. So I just never take AI's word for it. Because in finance, an answer you can't trace is an answer you can't use. Here's last week's workflow. I haven't touched it. And there are only 3 new pieces we add today. That's the whole job. 3 nodes to turn a search engine into something that really answers. 10-second recap of what's already here from video 1. We read the PDF in, we chop it into sentences, turn each sentence into a fingerprint of its meaning, then file them all in a store. You can search by meaning. Type our question here, and we pull back the 3 closest passages. That's retrieval. If any of that is new, watch video 1 first. It's on screen now in the info pop-up. Everything from there onwards is brand new. You're about to see a second AI node. And this is exactly where people get confused. So let me kill it up front. This workflow uses 2 different AI models. And they do 2 completely different jobs. The first one, from last week, text embedding 3 large, is the librarian. Its only job is to file the sentences by meaning so you can find the right one. It doesn't talk, it doesn't answer, it files. The second one, the one we're going to add today, GPT-3.5 Turbo, is the explainer. You hand it the passage the librarian found, and it reads that passage and explains it back to you in plain English, answering your actual question. Librarian finds it, explainer explains it. 2 models, 2 jobs. That's the entire mental model. Here is the node that does the magic, and it's not even an AI node. It's an expression node. And all it does is it writes instructions. It glues 3 things together: the passage we retrieved, the user's question, and a short set of rules for the AI. Read those rules out loud, because every word is pulling its weight. Based only on this text, answer the question. That one word, only. This is your seatbelt. It forbids the AI from wandering off and inventing things, often called hallucination. It can use the passage in front of it and nothing else. Limit your answer to exactly 1 sentence. No essay. 1 clean line you can paste straight into an email, and explicitly state the section or page number you used as your source. That's the trust move. Make it show its work every single time. 2 nodes left. The OpenAI LLM selector picks GPT-3.5 Turbo as our explainer. And notice it doesn't need its own login. It is straight plugged into the same OpenAI authenticator we set up last week. So both models reach OpenRouter through that one connection. No need to do this work twice. Then the LLM Prompter basically hands the whole package to the AI and brings the answer back. So let's just quickly hit run and see what it brings to us. And here we say a 1-sentence thing. You have up to 72 hours to report a data breach. yada, yada, yada. There it is. Same breach question as last week, and instead of a passage to read, I get a finished sentence. Let's just watch this a little bit closer. So as we can see here, you have up to 72 hours to report a data breach as stated in Article 33 of the legal text. One sentence, and it told me where it came from. Last week, this thing pointed at the answer. This week, it wrote it and cited it. One honest note, you probably saw how it rethought the entire document here the moment I hit run. That store lives in memory on your computer. It rebuilds from scratch every single time. You can save it to disk so you never have to redo that work. Want that as a short follow-up? Just tell me in the comments below. And it's not just that one question. Watch. I'll now ask it something completely different. Who has to appoint a data protection officer? So I click OK here and to run the whole thing again. You just have to wait for it. Goes to the AI. It asks it. We now go here, table like here, and look at the table. You can see the controller and the processor must appoint a data protection officer in cases where the processing involves regular and systematic monitoring or procedure. New answer, new source, same clean format. That is the template. Point it at your own documents and ask it anything. It reads, it answers, and it brings receipts. So we went from it found the passage to it wrote the answer and showed its source. Real chat with your documents territory built on 3 nodes. But there's one honest loose end left. And it is the next video. To write that answer, I needed to send your data out to a cloud AI. GPT-3.5 Turbo on OpenRouter. Perfectly fine for public GDPR, not fine for your real contracts. So in chapter 3, we'll rip out the cloud completely. Install a local AI with LLM Studio, run the whole thing on your own machine, and nothing, not one sentence ever leaves the building. And if you are a KNIME Power user, there is an even leaner way to build this whole thing using the KNIME AI extension. Comment down below if you'd want that as a bonus. Find it, answer it, then lock it down. That's the triage of chatting with your documents. Subscribe so you don't miss the local build. The workflow's linked below. Go and point it at one of your documents tonight.